We can sit down there. Roberta got the students, and you got me. I apologize. Let's cut straight to it. Everyone's talking about how all these countries want to join the EU, even Canada, it seems. Why do we not have a proposal yet for how we change enlargement? There's lots of papers flying around. The Germans have ideas, the French have ideas. Some of them ended up in our newspaper. Why is there not a formal proposal yet?
Well, hello. First of all, my congratulations to the EUI for this 50th anniversary, and to thanks Patricia Nance, the teachers, the researchers, the students, for what you are doing here in the Firenze. Look, it's true. In this very uncertain world, the people are looking at the European Union as a reliable, predictable partner, and a little bit all around the world, the people are outreaching to us in order to engage with the European Union. Some, the closest geographically, want to enter in the European Union. Others want to have strengthen the partnerships, and others want to engage with us on security or defense or in trade. And we are living in the multipolar world where for us is very important, and the main priority, to uphold international law, strengthen the multilateral system, and weaving a network of multipolar partnerships is what we are doing. If you look back over the last year, we have summits very important with African Union, with the Community of Latin American and Caribbean, with Central Asia countries, with the Western Balkans twice per year, with Japan, with Canada, with UK, and all the BRICS, with the exception of Russia. But we have summits with Brazil, with India, with China, with South Africa. And then is the global engagement of the European Union to provide stability in this world, because the world needs, first of all, stability. Is critical for peace and prosperity.
I feel like every time we talk, the world gets less stable. But anyway, how does the EU sell itself to the rest of the world, given that our economy is in a bit of a mess? Everyone keeps saying we need to fix it. We rely on America, who are completely untrustworthy for our defense still, and to many people in the global south, the European Union looks morally bankrupt and hypocritical, given our stances on the war in the Middle East and other conflicts. How do you sell us as that partner when there are lots and lots of holes in the kind of story we're selling?
Look, the truth is, all of them, in spite of all of these problems, are outreaching to us. And why? First of all, because we are reliable and we are predictable. And this is worse in this world. Second, we are very aware of our problems. Last year, we decided to take Draghi report and put the Draghi report in action. 2 weeks ago, the European Parliament, the Council, and the European Commission signed the roadmap to deliver on competitiveness, to put in motion the agenda, One Europe, One Market agenda, until the end of 2027, with a concrete timeline for concrete actions. And the European Commission takes the commitment to present the proposals, and the European Parliament and the Council take the commitment to discuss and in order to approve in this concrete timeline. Last year, we invested a lot to start building the European defense. And this is something very important, because we tried in the 50s. And in the 50s, we closed this. And we believe that we could rely only in NATO. Some years ago, when President Macron came with the idea and talking about the strategic autonomy, a lot of people listen to him as intending to divide the transatlantic alliance. Today it's very clear for everybody that the only way to preserve the transatlantic alliance is to strengthen the European defense, to build a real European defense. It's not anymore a threat to the transatlantic alliance, but a condition to preserve what we can preserve in this transatlantic alliance. And that's why last year we start to identify the priorities on our common capabilities, to start working on creating financial tools for the member states to invest more in defense, because we learn that peace without defense is just an illusion. And now the High Representative Kaja Kallas is working on to build on the Article 42.7 of the Treaty of Lisbon. That means the mutual assistance. And this is very important, because it's not an alternative to NATO, but it's complementary to NATO. And for instance, recently, when Hezbollah targeted Cyprus, and Cyprus is not an ally of NATO, Greece, France, Italy, Spain, and Netherlands mobilized to go to Cyprus, to defend Cyprus from these attacks. And this is very important. It was the first time that in practice we used the 42.7 article of the Treaty of Lisbon. But we need, of course, to organize our own defense and to be prepared, because we need to have a 360 degrees vision of the threat. And you know the threats are not coming only from Russia, but we are facing other threats.
There are some threats coming from across the Atlantic as well. You're very good at your job, and you didn't mention Donald Trump once there in that entire answer. But he is pulling troops out of Germany, he is stopping critical weapons getting to European allies, and he's threatening us with tariffs. One member of the European Council, one of your leaders, Donald Tusk, said last month that he doesn't think America might be loyal to NATO anymore. Do you agree?
As you know, I'm a specialist to give the most boring answer to your questions about our...
I keep trying, though.
Our largest ally. And again, I can repeat again my boring answer. First of all,
why don't...
Look, you know, everybody understands the importance to give boring answers to these kind of questions. Because we should try to preserve what we have. Because after times comes, and we are working very hard to keep calm and carry on. And stabilize on trade, to stabilize in NATO, to keep everybody engaged in supporting Ukraine to resist to the Russian invasion. And this is our way. In fact, we were born in the 50s. We are not very good in social media. And then we prefer to answer to your questions, to the questions of the citizens, and don't answer to each tweet in the social media.
Very good.
Thank you. I understand. It was boring enough, my answer. Thank you.
Another world leader that some of the members of the European Council are talking to is Vladimir Putin. Do you agree with that idea? And if so, who should it be, when, and what should they say?
First, now we should avoid to disturb the process led by President Trump.
Do you believe that process is continuing?
I think so. You doubt?
I very much doubt it, but...
Okay, you are less boring than me. Then, but we should avoid to disturb this. But in the last European Council, President Zelenskyy invited us to be prepared to contribute positively for a negotiation. And in any case, we have always two dimensions. One is the bilateral negotiation between Ukraine and Russia to address their bilateral issues. Other dimension that in any case we need to negotiate with Russia is the future of the peace architecture, the security architecture in Europe. We cannot change the geography. We are in Europe, we are neighbors of Russia, and of course we need to talk with them about the future of the security architecture of Europe. Then I'm talking with the leaders and to see the best way to organize ourselves and to identify what we need effectively to discuss with Russia when it comes to the right moment to do this.
So this is a process leading up to a potential. This isn't a plan yet.
Yes, it's a potential. It's a potential.
Okay.
Everybody knows that one day we need to negotiate with Russia the future of the security architecture. When this moment comes, we need to see, and of course we need also to understand when Russia wants to negotiate the security architecture. Because for the time being, nobody has seen any sign from Russia that they want effectively to engage in serious negotiations.
Yeah.
And we have to obtain a ceasefire as soon as possible. We need to achieve a just and lasting peace in Ukraine, and you need to fix the future of the security architecture of Europe.
I'm going to repeat my first question, which you very successfully dodged. When will we see a proper proposal on reforming enlargement? And when do you think the next member state will join the EU?
The enlargement, in fact, we have different process of enlargement. And is a merit-based process. That means that the rhythm is different with each country.
Sure.
Last week, we approved the creation of the working group to start drafting the accession treaty of Montenegro. Looking at the assessment from the European Commission, it's possible to conclude the negotiations with Montenegro by the end of this year. That means that in 2028, it's not impossible to have Montenegro as a member state.
Yeah.
With other candidate countries, the process are not going so fast, but we need to pursue on this. Now, I think that with the new government in Hungary, I expect that Hungary remove this blockade to open the formal negotiations with Ukraine.
Yeah.
But even with Ukraine, the informal negotiations already started a long time ago.
Yeah.
And the European Commission is working very hard with the government of Ukraine, and it's very impressive. Our country in war could deliver on such reforms that are essential for the future accession. Yeah. Then, I don't like to fix artificial targets. I say that the enlargement is the most important geopolitical investment that we can do for our own security, to spread peace, prosperity, rule of law, democracy in our neighborhood. And we need to achieve this as soon as possible. Yeah. But it depends, country by country, and I'm very against this idea to couple processes. Yeah. My own country have experienced this, and we wait at least 3 years to the Union solve some problems with our couple. Then I think it's not a good idea.
That's not nice. Finally, I'm going to lower the tone and talk about the MFF. How concerned are you that leaders aren't taking this seriously enough, that we're not going to have an agreement by the end of this year? I mean, you heard Roberta talking about ambition. It seems like the ambition dies as soon as it enters the ECOFIN.
Do you think so? No. Look, the European Parliament have already approved the interim report.
Sure.
And we agreed in the calendar. We need to approve the next MFF by the end of this year. And we have already started. We have a first discussion in October about the architecture. It's very demanding, very challenging, because it's very innovative, the proposal from the European Commission. We had an interesting discussion about new own resources and how to solve the financial equation.
Yeah.
Next June, the Cypriot presidents will come with the first nego box with figures.
Yeah.
It's a very hard job because everybody knows that...
It's a sacrificial lamb.
Yes, it's a sacrificial lamb. But this paved the way for the Irish president come in October with the second nego box.
Right.
And I've already said to the leaders that they should be prepared to an extraordinary council if it's necessary in November. And finally, I schedule the December council to the 17th of December.
Wow.
So
we can spend all week before Christmas.
Yes, before Christmas, yes. The leaders have 1 week to conclude the MFF. But why it's important, well, not important, why we cannot afford this effort to approve the next MFF this year? Because always the member states and the union take at least 1 year to be prepared to put in motion the MFF. Now we are closing this summer the next generation. We are closing the current MFF. All the national budgets are under pressure. We need to increase our investment. If you read the gap, the Draghi report, it's very clear. We have a gap of investment. Then we need to have the new MFF the 1st of January 2028. And to use the next MFF, since the 1st of January 2028, you need to approve it by the end of this year. That's why we need to do this. It's difficult, yes, but look, postpone a difficult decision don't help. Just postpone the decision that in any case we need to take.
So the leaders should bring their sleeping bags in December and we'll get it done.
Yes, no, for sure. We need to approve this because, look, we are facing such challenges to our economy. Energy crisis, wars surrounding us, digital transition. We need to catch up on competitiveness. We cannot afford to postpone, to have the most important tool that we have to boost our competitiveness, to deliver in our investment on security and defense, to ensure affordability in housing and so on. Then we cannot postpone the decision. We need to take the decision.
Antonio, I could listen to your boring answers for hours, but I think you have to be taken away now, I'm told, and the big red flashing light is shouting at us. So thank you so much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Jerry.